Hey everybody, welcome to WarKry Radio. Go be great. I am your host, life coach, mindset coach, Karena Calhoun, and I am so excited to have on the show today Miss Nikita Hines. Nikita, hi, how are you? Welcome to the
Hi,
show.
hi, Karina. Hi, tribe. Thanks for having
So,
me.
yes, Nikita, I am excited about this conversation for so many reasons that I've not told you. So I want you to tell us, we already know that you're Nikita Hines. So tell us, who is Nikita Hines? Tell us about you.
Oh, about me. Again, I'm Nikita
Again, I'm
Hines.
Nikita Hines.
I am from North Carolina, originally Wilson, North Carolina. It's a small town. A lot of people probably haven't heard of it. It's near
I've
Raleigh
heard of
area.
Wilson, North Carolina.
Okay. Most people, they're like, what? Wilson? Where is that? I've been in Charlotte, North Carolina for about 8 years now. So I consider this pretty much home now. I'm also a certified professional life coach. A new, I still say new, January, I published my first book. I have a 21-day devotional. So kind of excited about that.
Congratulations.
So thank you. So now I can add author to my title. And I'm also a virtual assistant. And I'm a daughter of a king. That's how I like to identify
Okay.
myself, King Jesus.
Okay. Okay.
Let's see, what else a little about me. I'm a mother of one. I have a teenage daughter. She is 14.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm just living life, learning as I go and grow, and just learning from great people like you and other entrepreneurs. That's my goal, to learn from other entrepreneurs and to help them, learn more about the business side of things as well.
I love it. I love it. Quite a few things that you said that I really want to dive into. I want to pull out
Okay.
first and foremost. What is this daughter of a king jazz? I look at your website and I see
Uh-huh.
that you introduce yourself as daughter of a king. And so I said, now listen, I know what it is, but I want everyone
Right.
else to know what it is. So tell
Okay.
us
I'm gonna be honest with you, Karina. I just recently identified with that, daughter of a king. And of course, well, again, everybody might not know, but king is Jesus. That's my king. That's who I refer to as king. And I'm his daughter. I'm his child. So I'm a child of God. Therefore, I am a daughter of a king. And when I say I just recently identified with that, of course, my whole life I've known that. I grew up in church. Pretty much born and raised in the church. But of course, once I got older, went my own way, went off to college, I would still go to church, but didn't have that, I don't know the correct terminology to use at the moment, but I kind of went my own way,
that.
like
Hmm.
many of us do. But of course, that was always in my heart. I would say that that was something I kind of ran from for quite some time. And my King Jesus will always put me back in. And I've been in business since about 2015, off and on doing life coaching, but I felt like I just couldn't get it right for some reason. And for me personally, it was more the spiritual side. I think Jesus needed to get me to a different place, in life and spiritually, mentally as well, in order for me to really help others the way that he wanted me to, not the way that I wanted to, the way that he wanted me to. So that's kind of been my struggle for some time. And I say towards the end of last year, actually, 2020, the pandemic, actually, we could dive more to that later. Actually, I feel like saved my life
Mm,
in more ways than one.
mm.
He had me, I was ready to give up on business, ready to just let it all go because I was just so unsure about myself and unsure of the path that he wanted me to take. And I say November 2020, I stopped everything and I said, you know what, before I give up, Jesus, I'm gonna turn to you one more time. So that's how my 21-day devotional was birthed.
Okay.
And he basically told me, don't give up, and you're my child, you're my daughter. And at that moment, literally November 2020, that wasn't very long ago, is when it really hit me on a different level that I was a daughter of a king. And that's how he said, that's how you're going to identify yourself from this point forward. You are a daughter of a king. And I went to rebranding my business, and because my business is still Luxury Virtual Solutions. But he's pushing me out on the front end. And that's how Nikita Hines Enterprises was birthed. And it just envelopes my other businesses. He's just doing a lot. He's doing a lot and pushing me out of my comfort zone. And because I'm an introvert, and I know you talked about that a lot too. I am an introvert, believe it or not. I am so introverted. So he's really pushing me out of my comfort zone. And that's kind of, in a nutshell, he just basically helped me identify myself as a daughter of a king. Like, you're my child. You know, you can always depend on me for anything that you need. So.
And you know, Nikita, I find it fascinating that really your story is amazing. The fact that you said you grew up in the church, but yet it wasn't until recently that you really identified as a daughter of the king. And, you know, our listeners, we have a wide range of listeners. And one of the things that I want them to understand with that is the tribe, the family, as we call them, the tribe. You know, just because you grew up in the church doesn't mean you were necessarily on the path that you should have been on.
Exactly.
You know, it's never too late. It is absolutely never too late. And so I love the fact that you now embrace who you are. And it took you really identifying as a daughter of the king, as a true disciple, and then getting not just your life, but your business on track.
Right.
I absolutely love that. So one of the things that you talked about was that you're an introvert, and that's a hot topic for me because I have dubbed myself an extreme introvert. If I didn't have to leave my house ever, I would not.
Not at all. Like when COVID, when the pandemic hit, I'm like, yes, I get to stay home. I love it.
Exactly. I'm like, so now y'all put in these laws in motion so that they actually line up with my desires.
Right. Thank you.
Give me 6 feet, stay in the house. And so, you know, one of the things that I really want to just kind of dive into, you being a daughter of the king, you being an introvert, but yet you're a business owner, and he's pushing you out front. Those are really heavy,
very
heavy focal points. I know them all too well. So just so that the tribe gets a different perspective from mine. Okay. Tell us about your experience with that, because it's not always easy, especially being an introvert. Right. You know, but I tell people that I have to, regardless of what personality type, I believe that our purpose should always supersede our personality type. And so your purpose, it sounds like you're on the path to your purpose. So tell us how that's been, you having to really maneuver, being an introvert, learning now who you are, really removing the identity crisis, if we want to be honest, and then moving fully into business as God has designed you to. So talk a little bit about that. Yeah.
Like you said, it's heavy. And if I'm completely honest to you and the tribe, I was nervous about even coming on today speaking with you, because I am such an introvert, and my anxiety was like, oh my gosh, I know people are going to see me. People are going to listen. You know, I've been on podcasts before, not for business reasons, but I've been on, you know, podcasts before. I listen to podcasts all the time, you know, but it's still that nerve-wracking feeling when you're an introvert, you know, knowing that people are going to watch you and you have to speak to people and network. But again, this is where God is pushing me. Honestly, okay. So I have 2 siblings, but they are much older than me. Me and my sisters are 15 and 13 years apart. Okay. So I'm the baby. I grew up like an only child. And I'm just kind of giving you that background because I feel like that's where a lot of my introvert ways came from, because I've always been by myself, basically. Of course, got family or whatnot, but I've always preferred to just be alone. Fast forward, I have my select few friends, I'm not an introvert to them. I'm the social butterfly. Yeah. But everywhere else, that's just me. I'm just in my little shell. With business. And I think, honestly, that's probably one reason I didn't actually succeed before. Because like I said, I've been into coaching and doing business things since 2015. And honestly, this is kind of coming to me now and speaking with you. That is probably one reason that I didn't really excel at like I wanted to before as well. Like I said, I wasn't there spiritually, but I know now, because I wasn't really willing to network. I wasn't really willing to make new friends and new connections. So how could I be an entrepreneur if I'm not willing to do those things? So it's been a tough road when, like I said, recently, when he's pushed me out to the forefront. Honestly, my question is like, really, why?
Yeah.
I don't really have anything else to say. Like, why? Why do I need to be out in front? Honestly, I still don't know, but I'm being obedient. And he has a plan, and his plan is much better than my own. And I had to realize this is what I was praying for. I pray for the business. How can I pray for the business if I'm not willing to work and be out there? I want to help other entrepreneurs. And I've always been a back end person. I like doing back end work when nobody sees me, even corporate jobs, church. I like being in the back. I don't like being in the front. But for some reason in this season, I guess it's my time to be pushed out a little more. Honestly, I'm just taking it day by day. It's a struggle, it's a challenge. But I'm willing to, like you said, I'm willing to put my personality aside and follow my purpose. And that's something that I pray for often, is to, Lord, show me what my purpose and my calling is. So sometimes I have to do things that aren't comfortable. I have to come out of my comfort zone in order to get to where he needs me to be. Because at the end of the day, that's what I want for myself. I want to be where God wants me to be. And it's not always what Nikita wants or how Nikita wants or when Nikita wants it. His time and his plan is much better. So honestly, I just try to lean on that as a push to keep going. Like I said, even before this call, I was like, Lord, I'm nervous. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. This is out of my comfort zone up here. But it's in your plan, it's in your will, it's a divine connection for whatever reason that we're connecting here today. So I just have to trust his plan. And that's honestly what keeps me going through the tough times, and just prayer. And hey, I'm just winging it. I'm just winging it.
Let me ask you this. How do you incorporate faith inside of your business? Now, we know that your business is steeped in faith.
Right.
But do you incorporate it inside? In other words, do you have faith-based conversations with clients? How do you approach that? Because I would imagine possibly not everyone comes to you, who comes to you is a believer, or are they all believers?
So far, most of the people have been believers, my clients. However, I can't say that they're on the same pathway and journey as I am, in so many words, without offending anyone. Like, I can't say their faith is as strong, but all of my service isn't faith-based. My company is built on, my foundation is faith. And, that's why I make it known on my website as well. So you can have the option as a potential client. If you decide you want to work with me, then it's kind of hard not to always come up with conversations, because it comes so easily to me to talk about faith and God. But I do respect everyone. That doesn't mean I'm going to shun you out. I don't want to work with you, of course, if you're not a faith-based business owner, or individual for that matter. So I always ask, is it okay? That is something that I ask. Is it okay if I bring up faith? Because sometimes I know my mouth just comes out with it, and If it does, I always say, I don't mean to impose. I'm not trying to convert you
Yeah.
or anything. It's just comes natural to me, to be honest. So I always ask to make sure it's okay, that they're cool with it, or, if I do mention it, I don't mean to offend you, if there's an issue. But a lot of times most people don't have an issue with it because they kind of know based off my website. I already pretty much let you know front end, this is who I am.
Right. So what would you, for those that are listening that are on the fence right now, wanting to incorporate their faith in their business, what would be one tip that you would give them?
One tip. Let's see, because my mind is like running many tips.
That's a good thing, though. That's a good thing.
Honestly, and don't get me wrong, guys, I'm not some holy roly person, because some people think, oh, this is all she talks about. This is what I'm very average. I'm 34. I'm hip with the game. I'm with the new age stuff. Okay. So, but I do believe, honestly, when I started letting God, my faith, plan my business, that's when things begin to change for me. But the tip I would give, honestly, I would just say pray.
Yeah.
Prayer changes everything. And I'm seeing that more now, like just since from November, I don't even think that's a whole 6 months yet. Things have changed for me. I've seen things happen that I swear, I'm like, I've been praying for this for like 10 years. So, but not everything is how I want it, of course, or I don't have every answered prayer, but since my prayer life has improved, I have seen an improvement, just me mentally. I know you're a mindset coach, like just mentally, my mindset is different. And that's just even the same thing coming out the introvert stage. My mindset, you have to have a different mindset. Yes, you could still be an introvert, but you got to have the mindset, hey, this is what I want to do, so I got to push myself to do it, or whatever the case may be. But yeah, definitely prayer. I would say pray, even when it doesn't seem like things are changing. Pray, because I have some things right now I have not seen. I'm like, Lord, where you at? Where you at now? Help me out. But you have to. That's the thing. A lot of times we give up prayer when we don't see things changing when we want them to. Keep praying. Eventually it's going to change. You're going to see a difference. You have to keep praying, and eventually, well, his timing, keyword his, things will begin to change for you. And don't stop praying when you do get what you want. A lot of times we do that as well. We pray for things, we get it, and then, oh, we're good. Okay, well, yeah, we made those 6 figures. We're good now. Jesus blessed me. Yes, Jesus, he did that. And we don't pray no more. Right. So you can't stop there either. Keep praying. Prayer changes everything. You have to pray to continue that. Just because you made 6 figures this year, are you going to make it again next year? You have to pray for those other things that falls under that umbrella in order, for you to succeed and excel.
Absolutely. And you mentioned absolutely. And you mentioned being an author. And so the name of your new book is Let God Plan Your Business Success.
Correct.
So tell us about that. Tell us a little bit about that.
It still doesn't feel real, to be completely honest with you. Ever since I was a little girl, I've always wanted to write a book. I remember writing short stories and children's books at 8 years old. It's just, I've always been a writer. I used to just always write. I used to write songs. I can't sing at all. Okay. Can't even hum good. But but I kind of grew up like an only child. So like I said, I had to entertain myself a whole lot when I was home. It was just me and my mom. So I would just write all the time. And I always said, I want to be an author. I want to be an author. In high school, I wrote a fiction book. I called myself writing a fiction book in high school. So one of my friends to read it, and it ended up getting passed around the whole school. How, I don't know, but everybody was like, "Yeah, you need to write a book. You need to publish." Like I said, it's in my heart. It's always been in my heart. So last year, when I finally, like I said, God has really been working with me during the pandemic for sure on some different things. And I said, you know what? This year I'm going to write a book. My idea, again, it's not always our plans. My idea was to write a Christian fiction book. Because I love fiction books. So I always wanted to write a fiction book. But since now I'm kind of going to the other side of the Christian life, I say, you know what, a Christian fiction book would be good.
Okay.
But when I took that break in November, as I stated earlier, he had me do the devotional. And again, I was very nervous about that because I'm not a minister. I work through some ministries on the leadership teams at church, but I'm not a minister. I don't preach. Again, I'm not a holy roly, type of person. I just have that faith. This is where he's taking me at this moment. So I was very nervous. Like, God, how can I write a devotional? I just thought that was something ministers did, or people that were, to me, in my eyes, of a higher standard. But I did it. It just still doesn't seem real that I actually published a book. But basically, what's the words I can use? It actually was for me, but it was for other entrepreneurs as well, if that kind of makes sense.
It absolutely does.
Yeah. As I was writing it was for me. It was things, literally, I just started writing. And I would start writing things and I'm like, oh, okay, you need to do that. You know that, right? Talking to myself. So really it was for me, but he had me writing it for other entrepreneurs or potential, entrepreneurs, but it honestly helped me through. Even I talked about tithing in there, tithing from your business. Honestly, I never thought about that. I mean, I know you're supposed to tithe. I tithe from my corporate job, but I never, honestly, have been completely 100. I didn't think about tithing from a business. He brought that to me as I was writing the book, so honestly, it's just one of those things that kind of happened, and I finished it probably towards mid-December, and I had it published in January, and I'm like, Jesus, is this real? Sometimes when people ask me about it, and not saying that I forget that I wrote it, but it's just like still so not real to me.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh yeah, I did write a book, didn't I?
That is awesome. And the thing is, a lot of times as business owners, as we're going through this journey of entrepreneurship, people don't realize a lot of times, because especially in the service-based business, we become partakers first of the services that we provide.
Right. Absolutely.
Or the products that we provide, simply because we know how it's worked for us. And so we want to provide that same transformation for someone else. And so, Nikita, tell us, before we get ready to wrap up, tell us about the services that you're currently offering. And also tell us how we can get in touch with you.
Okay. The services I currently offer, again, I did say I am a virtual assistant as well. So I have a lot of admin writing tasks that I help other entrepreneurs or small businesses with, from data entry, customer service. Mostly I do social media management as well, but the bulk of my clientele comes from a lot of digital product content creations, social media templates. I do done for you products, digital products. So say, for example, you needed a workbook for your business or a planner, I will actually create it for you, and you can resell as your own to your customers or your clients. So, and that could be digital. I've had clients resell it as digital and physical products, so that's totally up to you. You do what you want once it's in your hands. But I get a lot of those, and that seems to be a big hit because a lot of people either don't have time to create their own products, or everybody doesn't have that creative mindset. We all have different skills for different reasons. So hey, why not outsource it?
Right.
So yeah, resume writings, I do all of those things. Also, again, as I said, I am a certified professional life coach, but right now I am working more towards helping other entrepreneurs and small businesses get organized, put a system into place, planning, get things in order. That helps a lot. You'll be surprised. People think anybody can get organized. I don't need help with, someone helping me get organized.
Through it all.
And that's something that I talked about in the devotion as well, and something that the Lord brought to me. You got to get organized, and once I literally got organized, I got a routine together, got things in order. And like you said, being first partaker of what I'm trying to teach someone else, I saw a dramatic change just in myself and in my business. Being organized is key. I don't think people really realize how key it is. It is key. So I do offer, I have some programs for that, just coaching entrepreneurs, whatever challenges they may have, because a lot of times mindset is a challenge to get organized. They just, how I go. You're a mindset coach.
Absolutely.
I also do wellness coaching. Well, that's basically what my business is as a whole: wellness for mind, body, spirit, and business. Wellness. A lot of times people hear wellness, they think workout, eat right. I have that too. I do have workout plans, meal plans. However, wellness is deeper than that. It's different dimensions of wellness. You have to be healthy in all areas. Health is not just a body thing, a physical thing.
Right.
You have to have a healthy spirit in order, for your faith to be like you want it to. You have to have a healthy mindset. You have to have a healthy business, So I promote, basically, in a nutshell, wellness as a whole. So I do wellness coaching. I have ebooks. I'm building up my library vault. I have a few ebooks coming out, bundles. Yeah, all that good stuff.
Awesome. So tell us how we can get in touch with you.
Well, my website is nikitahines.com. That is NIKITAHINES. My Instagram and Facebook. Yeah, Instagram and Facebook are the same, at Hines Enterprises. And I think that's the only. Oh yeah, I'm on TikTok now. Yes, okay. I'm on TikTok. Try, follow me.
Absolutely.
I think TikTok is the same too. Yeah, I think all of my social media handles is at Hines Enterprises. So yeah, I'm just trying to get out there, do my little thing, get like Coach Karena.
Well, thank you. I hope that's a compliment. I don't know.
It is. You'll be on the videos. I was like, I'm gonna get like that one day. I'm gonna do the videos like she do one day.
That is so funny. I actually did. I did quite a few today, so that I could, because I took a small break for a couple of days, but I did quite a few today, and so there will be more released.
Yeah, I was seeing you doing all the shows and everything. I was like, wow. See, I need that type of boldness. So I mean, it's definitely an inspiration for introverts like me, stepping out of my shell. So I'm just watching. I'm learning. Keep doing what you're doing. You're great. You're awesome. I think I've been following you for quite some time. I've been watching. I've been watching, and it's definitely an inspiration seeing you on the front end. And again, this is where God is pushing me. So I'm watching, I'm learning, and I see your boldness. So I love it. I love it.
Well, awesome. That encourages me. I really appreciate the encouragement. I am doing what he has told me to do. I don't have all of the answers as to why. I just know he told me to do it, so I'm doing it.
Right.
And, he said do it, so here I am.
Hey, what can you do? You got to do it.
Yes, he made it very clear.
You're doing great.
Yes, you're an introvert, but I told you to do this.
Right.
So I'm glad it is impacting you. I really appreciate that. So Nikita, I am thankful that you came on the show today. And I am going to be asking you back probably towards the end of the year, we're already mid-year almost, but probably towards the end of the year, I'll probably want to bring you back on just to follow up, see how things are going.
Okay.
See what you have going on. Maybe you have book number 2 published by then.
Hey.
And so again, thank you so much for swinging by and talking to us. I have thoroughly enjoyed this conversation.
Me
I knew it was
too.
going to be fire. I knew it.
I appreciate you so much. Thank you for having me. And yes, I just love it. You're so beautiful. I love your hair too.
Yeah.
I was like, her hair, her lipstick always.
Thank you so
But
much.
thank you for having me, and thanks for listening, Tribe.
All right. So, folks, we have had Nikita Hines on the show today, and you know how we do. All of her contact information will be in the show notes. There will be clickable links. So, if you did not catch her contact information, no worries. I got your back. I got you covered. So, I will see you all on the flip side. Bye, guys.